Associate. But there'll be a lot of looking hard tomorrow.
Third and a half from the 34. And Anderson picks it up. He goes to the 41-yard line. Neil Anderson, first down in Chicago. They are marching. And there's the Aussie. There's Colin Scott in on the stop.
Good presence by Anderson. He knew how much he needed for the first down. That's exactly what he did. Take a look at Scott, but it was Anderson looking to the outside, cutting behind the block of Rory Jim Covert.
Good look at Scott there.
But he knew exactly where he had to be to get the first.
Looks like a leading man.
Yeah, he's have his own series. We put him on again.
First and 10 from the 41-yard line. Flutie. And he runs his way to a first down. The slithery one. Doing what he does best with it. 12 yards.
No one ever questioned his athletic ability. Doug Flutie is maybe at his best in the open field. Senses some pressure. Curtis Greer gets into the pocket, and away he goes. Ron Monaco, the middle linebacker, really no threat to catch Doug Flutie. And knowing where the chains were, picked up a bare first down.
Really good work. He gave a little dip to the inside, just enough to draw away the tackler and get the first down.
First down from the 29-yard line. Incomplete. Dennis Gentry, the intended receiver, and Wright was covering on the play.
Wide receivers really glare at you when they come back to the huddle after you put one up like that for them. Gentry knew he was going to be hammered. It's a lot of concentration. Just a little out of his reach. He knows he's going to get it right there. Ooh, and he does. Put that thing on the numbers. I'll be around a lot longer.
So will the quarterback.
Yes.
Second and 10. And on the draw play, it's Anderson. You know, I keep thinking about analysts through the years describing football players. Oh, he's a big, tough guy. He's ornery, or he's got a great arm. I'll never forget Frank Broyles, who did color for many years with Keith Jackson, of course, describing Doug Flutie. He said, he's so cute you want to hug him.
Or burp him.
Why do I think that Doug Flutie doesn't find any of that funny?
He doesn't. Can't blame him. He's what? He's a couple inches shorter than McMahon, maybe 3, stretching it a little bit. Well, maybe 4.
Third down and 8 at the 27. Beautiful. And a flag goes down. A fumble after a first down. And the Cardinals have it, but there's a penalty marker down. McKinnon coughed it up, and the Cards get it. And we'll see about the call here.
I think it's going to go against Leonard Smith. Came in on the blitz.
Personal foul against the Cardinals.
That's a good read by Flutie. He just whipped it out there, and he shows you that he's got the strong arm.
Personal foul, number 45, hitting the quarterback in the head. First down.
Don't hit the quarterback in the head, Leonard.
Well, Leonard, you're going to be out of the game if you get in Dooley's face.
I think, didn't Leonard get thrown out of last week's game?
Leonard Smith has been thrown out of a couple games. Leonard is a very volatile player. The coaches love his aggressiveness. Let's watch him come in on the safety blitz.
Yeah, he's a notch away from being a Pro Bowl strong safety. Playing with the wrong ball club, but he is a superb athlete. Oh, come on, he didn't hit his head.
Man, we'll chalk that one up to not having the best angle, but boy, I didn't see Leonard Smith hit Doug Flutie.
He just flapped it around a little.
Maybe he thought he was so cute he wanted to hug him.
No, I don't. Well, that certainly didn't look like a personal foul against Leonard Smith. Maybe something happened we didn't see. Something obviously had to happen we didn't see, because I didn't see a penalty.
Smith got thrown out of last week's game against Seattle. Brian Millard and Kurt Warner of the Seahawks were also ejected. Half a minute to go in the third period. Sanders inside the 10, touchdown.
As a dip to say, we can play defense, and we want to run the football, and we want a quarterback that won't hurt us.
Well, they went to the left side behind Colbert and Ford. Nice to score a touchdown, isn't it, Frank, when you never get touched?
McDonald is hurt.
Tim McDonald, the Cards' #2 draft choice from Southern Cal, is not getting up.
I always hate to see them look at the leg.
And McDonald would be a second rounder, but their #1 draft choice at the moment, since they have not signed Kelly Stofford. So this was the man who was picked in the second round and is trying to win a job in the defensive backfield.
Nothing fancy to the weak side. The Cardinals all caught up in the middle. Down they go, and an easy stroll for Thomas Sanders into the end zone. That's a textbook picture of blocking by the Bears, and another good look of how not to play it by the Cardinals, who had no one pursuing from out of the middle. Meanwhile, Jordy Ginsburg, the Cardinal orthopedic surgeon, looks what to be the ankle of Tim McDonald.
Looks like somebody rolled right up on it just as McDonald was moving in to make the tackle. Great career at USC. Planned for McDonald at St. Louis, and well, they've been hurt, haven't they, Dan? They've lost Galloway, perhaps their best defensive line, certainly one of the top pass rushers. He's out for an indefinite time, and McDonald's now gone down. And they're thin. They can't afford a lot of people.
No, they can't. This is a team short of frontline talent to begin with. I think Gene Stallings said it best when he said, I've got a ball club that only won 4 games last year, and I don't have a single starting position being contested. That's how much of a lack of depth there is here on a Cardinal squad.
He was hoping that there would be a contest at quarterback, but with the non-signing thus far of Stoffer, Lomax has the job, and McDonald has to come off here with just 26 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Very lengthy game tonight. Several injuries. A lot of passing. Move that 40-second clock to about 30.
So the Bears have scored, and Butler comes in. Kevin with Harbaugh holding. Picks it through. 26 seconds remaining here in the third. Sanders scoring. It's 20-9, and back after this message about an upcoming show and a word from your local station. Soldier Field will be back here for the regular season in 2 weeks. You going to join us for the regular season, Daniel?
Yes, I will. I told you I was busy. If this game doesn't speed up, we might still be here.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Maybe another 2 weeks in this booth.
This one's going to work right into front.
We're still in the third period. And this is McAdoo, the rookie, trying to win a job as a kick returner as well as a running back. Bringing it out to the 35-yard line. And the Cardinals will take over as Hampton takes a little bit of a rest on the sideline, meaning that for the most part the Bears' second unit defensive people will be in now, and as they work on the injured Tim McDonald on the Cardinals side.
Key time for a lot of players out there. Now we joke about the length and all that, and the game gets a little sticky, but a lot of players are playing perhaps their last time as professional football players. The cut goes to 60 tomorrow.
Stout from the 35, and a big play as Robert Awalt, a tight end, rookie out of San Diego State, and they like his chances, and the Cardinals really don't have a standout tight end. Jay Novacek and Cap Boso pretty much sharing that spot, and Awalt trying to win a job as McDonald gets carted off. And the third quarter has come to a close. Soldier Field, Chicago, Cardinals leading it 20-9.
Who's doing color? Carl, Peggy, Pam, Barry, Naomi, Rebecca.
All down on the sideline. Fourth quarter at Soldier Field in Chicago. Gorgeous night. Big crowd. Next to last preseason game for both teams, and the Cardinals, as they usually do in preseason, hand sending it to the Bears. 1st and 10, St. Louis at the Chicago 34-yard line. Cliff Stout is the quarterback. Lomax played in the first half. This is Broderick Sargent, second-year back out of Baylor, taking it down to the 26-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2.
James Stallings taking a long look at some of his running backs tonight. We saw McAdoo go for quite a run. He's still in there at the moment, but we told you earlier, Stump Mitchell performed rather well, but the key man is Earl Farrell, getting him ready, and he has a broken thumb, but he might be ready by the time the Cardinals open the season.
2nd and 2. Stout pumping, going deep, and incomplete. Eric Swanson, second-year wide receiver out of Tennessee, covered on the play by Lorenzo Lynch.
Well, they came with the blitz, the Chicago Bears did. That means man coverage on the outside. Eric Swanson just working Lorenzo Lynch to the inside, beats him cleanly for the touchdown, and then just clearly drops the football. Cliff Stout did everything he could do, even though the ball is a little underthrown, but still, no excuse for not holding on to that.
Could have pulled that string earlier and made it very easy, though.
3rd and 2. Novacek in motion. Keep it on the ground, and it's Sargent, who is stopped short of the first down. So now, if you're the Cardinals and you lead by 11, do you opt for the field goal? Or they'll have another decision here because we've got a flag on the play as well.
2 men in motion.
Illegal shift. So the Bears now, if they take the penalty, it would be 3rd down and 7. If they take the play, it's 4th and 1. And they will take the penalty. So 3rd down, 7, just outside the 30. Score is 20-9, which is about what time it is right now in the Mountain Time Zone. South. Incomplete, and then mixed up on the pattern intended for Troy Johnson. So now 4th down. Line of scrimmage is the 30, so we're talking about a 47-yard field goal for John Lee.
And John Lee does not have the leg to be a consistent kicker at this range.
Nor the trajectory, and the further out you move, the lower you have to kick it. He's had one already drilled into the middle of that line tonight.
This one will be spotted at the 38, so it's a 48-yard attempt. And the kick is no good, short.
I think the Cardinals were a little surprised when they drafted John Lee to find out that he was that erratic and that weak from beyond 40 yards.
Especially when he was drafted that high. 20-9, St. Louis. There's the most recent signee. Mike Richardson had been holding outside the contract, will be in uniform next week in their final preseason game. Mike Richardson coming to terms after, well, he got whatever money was left after Ditka re-upped the other day. Mike signing a new 3-year deal. So he is now signed through 1990. He had a year to go, and they'll tack on 3 more.
Everybody's speaking to each other once again.
From the 30. Flutie. Down he goes. Curtis Greer getting in there.
Yeah, this has been one of the longest running soap operas, this football team, with Ditka and the management involved. Everything is going on involved with the management. It makes the Carringtons on Dynasty look like the people down the block.
Well, this is an excellent story, guys, about Curtis Greer coming back. Didn't play at all last year because of the bad knee. Everyone in the Cardinal organization counted him out. Had a guaranteed contract, not doing this for the money. Wanted to come back out of pride, and he's playing and helping this ball club. 2 sacks already tonight.
What's it been, Dan, 2 years, really, since he's gone?
Yes.
2nd and 17 from the 23-yard line. And Flutie shoots one to the 39, caught there by Gentry. And Gentry works his way for a first down to the 46. Versatile one. Gentry used to be a running back, wide out, good kick returner.
Well, and because of his running back experience, it's obvious after he catches the football is when Dennis Gentry is the most comfortable. Look at him make the move, dancing around, picking up a blocker. You know, it doesn't look like much, but he covers up the ball at the end and picks up another 7 or 8 yards after making the catch.
He's only 5'8". That ball was right in the numbers of a tall receiver. He can do a lot of things.
1st and 10 Chicago from the 46-yard line. Anderson. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 at the 49. We have 12 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Cardinals on top by a score of 20-9. Soldier Field in Chicago. Some question as to how much longer Chicago or Soldier Field will be the home of the Chicago Bears, who would love to be able to move into a new stadium.
Think of all the wonderful events that have taken place here over the nearly 65 years this Venerable structure's been here.
Yeah, well, I don't think this Bear game tonight will be one of them.
2nd and 7 from the 49. And a 1st down as Anderson makes the catch and is taken down to the 34-yard line.
You played here a few times, haven't you, Dan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is still one of the best places to be in January for a playoff game. It's what football was supposed to be.
Get out of here. For you guys up there front.
Well, you're from Southern California, Frank.
I was here one time for the championship in '63 when the late Mr. Hallis somehow happened to turn our burners off on the sidelines. They just always seemed to be off when it was cold. We had cold water in the showers.
What team was that you were with?
The big ones, Dan.
1st down, Chicago at the 35-yard line as Flutie, incomplete, intended for Neil Anderson. 2nd down.
Play here in January. Give me a break.
Doug's not pleased with that pass. Had an open man and just overthrew him. Has the look of a man who senses what's going on around him, a very intelligent human being, and realizes that he is, I hate to use a cliche here, but he is indeed between a rock and a hard place. A lot of talented people who can run a ball club and throw a football here in Chicago, and Doug's fighting an uphill battle.
Ditka openly aware that if he keeps Flutie, works him a lot, he's going to have to change his offense at least somewhat.
2nd and 10. Screen, but there's no blocking, and 2 flags go down. Tim Jesse, the receiver, and a couple of penalty markers. Holding against St. Louis.
Holding, number 50 defense, 1st down.
Ilya Jurushchuk, the rookie out of New Hampshire.
Dean Stallings from Paris, Texas. Same town, hometown as Raymond Berry. Played in the same high school. Ray Berry's father coached both of them.
1st and 10 now at the 30-yard line as Flutie on a roll, gets protection, and then has it knocked down. Big hands of Rod Sadler, who recovered a fumble earlier, knocking it down.
Well, before everyone jumps on the bandwagon, tall quarterbacks get passes batted away every now and then, too.
Here's an up-to-the-minute comparison now on the 3 quarterbacks minus McMahon during preseason. Tomczak, good numbers. Flutie, below par. And Harbaugh's looked good, playing the 4th quarter of their prior 2 games. We've yet to see him, though, tonight. 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. Flutie throws and is caught by Anderson, and Anderson is out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
That's what you would do with Flutie. You roll him out of there, give him an option, particularly on that kind of a situation, where he can pull it down and run for the 1st down, or he can go with the completion. That's what he's been doing all his life. Worked well enough to get a Heisman Trophy out of it. Here it is, just a little rollout. I'm sure that if he's around, Ditka's going to put in some kind of a series that will utilize this little roll of floating pocket. It'll come up with these kinds of results.
I'm inclined to give a lot of that credit to Neil Anderson. That was a ball down at his ankles. Just running away from it. That was a heck of a catch.
First and goal at the 9. Anderson again to the 7. Ditka today talking about Flutie. And Doug, remember, came in mid-year last year. Not only had to learn the offense, but was really expected to do some of the things that the other quarterbacks had to do. And Mike realizing that if you're going to use Flutie to maximum potential, you're going to have to pretty much redesign a few things to maximize what he can do and not have him try to do what he can.
What do you say? Something like you have to change 30% of your offense?
Roughly.
Well, you have to roll him out at least a third of the time that you're going to throw the ball. You just can't have him drop back time after time.
Second and goal. Sanders. Stopped by Charles Wright at about the 6-yard line.
Brought down by Charles Wright. A gain of 2.
Charles Wright, rookie, trying to win a job out of Tulsa.
And goal from the 5.
9:50 to go. Gene Stallings, second year as the head coach at St. Louis, took over after Jim Hannafin's long run. 4-11-1 were the Cardinals last year, and this year they're the consensus pick for last in the NFC East. Riley Walton in motion. Third and goal. And Flutie hits Walton, touchdown.
He's got a lot of fans here, Doug Flutie. They're on their feet.
Wayne Davis might have had a chance to tackle him. He was providing the coverage on the play, but couldn't make the play. And the Bears in the end zone again.
Congratulated by Jim McMahon in his red leathers.
Said Dougie, throw a few more touchdown passes, and you too can wear red leather pants. This was a blitz by the Cardinals. It forced some man coverage, and Wayne Davis locked up one-on-one with the tight end, and he goes for the ball instead of the man, and Riley Walton walks in easily.
Kevin Butler puts it through. So the Bears, who were down 20-2, are now down 20-16. 9:28 to go.
Super Bowl champions collide. The New York Giants take on the Chicago Bears on the season premiere of ABC's Monday Night Football.
Harbaugh's been warming up on several occasions. He started in about the 4th inning.
He was in there so bad.
Yeah, I got
with the yummy.
I got some good news, guys. A Bear touchdown and a Cardinal field goal means overtime.
Get out of here. Into the end zone, Derek McAdoo to the 20. And out of bounds at about the 26-yard line.
Let's look at Riley Walton's touchdown catch again and see how it came about. The Cardinals come on the blitz. Here's Anthony Bell, Leonard Smith. Both of them are going to come. Now Walton's in motion. Watch him work behind Dennis Gentry out here into the flat. The linebacker Davis gets a little confused and behind on his coverage. There's Gentry cutting in front, working right off his rear. Walton and the linebacker a little confused by the apparent crossing, and he just can't make the play.
You're not loud enough. Not enough zips and bams and booms.
Come on, Dan, get with it. Use that noisemaker from the 26-yard line. Stout going deep. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Intended for Troy Johnson.
Heck, even Cliff is laughing at that one.
Cliff's got a very bad back. He's hardly worked out in preseason at all, just a few days, and looks like he may have it all pulled together, but he needs to work. They wanted to see a lot of him tonight.
Well, there was supposed to be a full-fledged quarterback derby in St. Louis. Cliff Stout was challenging for the job. Neil Lomax, the incumbent, trying to hold on, and Kelly Stopper, the number 1, who's yet to materialize, was supposed to be in there, but it's been Neil Lomax's job all the way.
2nd and 10. Looks like a play out of the Southeastern Conference. George Sworn.
That wasn't what I thought it was it?
I think it was.
Was that the option?
Looked like it. George Sworn, rookie out of Miami of Ohio. Down the line option.
Cliff Stout at quarterback. No, this is not Jack Mildren. This is Cliff Stout. Look at the pitch to George Swarn.
You think he might have done anything else?
Mike Hartenstein of the Bears in pursuit. Another flag.
The only thing that play was missing were half shirts.
Ball start, 62 offense, first down.
That was one of the first plays Vince Lombardi put in when he came to the Giants. Brought it right out of Army. We had a 38-year-old quarterback named Charlie Connolly. Would never call it.
No, I don't blame
would
him.
gnash and grind his teeth, and it disappeared rather quickly.
Ray Brown, the left tackle. No, he wasn't offside. Come on, ref, give him a break. If you're going to make a mistake, make a big one.
First and 15 from the 37-yard line. Stout comes back to the near side. To the 42, Donald Narcisse, one of those fighting for a job. Narcisse's chances didn't get any better tonight with a performance turned in by Holmes. As far as the Cardinals are concerned, you know Roy Green has a job, and you know J.T. Smith has a job. Even though he didn't play tonight, he's slightly injured. And then you've got Troy Johnson looking good. And then a couple of spots up for grabs. Second and 10 from the 42-yard line. Incomplete for Swanson at the 50-yard line. It'll be third and 10.
I think Al touched on it earlier, but these two coaches, James Stallings and Mike Ditka, 9 years they were together as Dallas Cowboys. You look around at some of the coaches that have come out of there. They're good friends with Danny Reeves. He spent so many years under Tom Landry, and all of them head coaches now. Ray Berry up in New England. Until recently, John Makovic. At one time, there were 5 head coaches as early as last year that had been tutored under Tom Landry. And Tom's having his problems this year.
Third and 10 from the 42. Stout tries to set up the screen. And Sikahema gets dropped as he makes the catch at the 40-yard line.
We're liable to get another holding call against the Cardinals. Well, we've got one motion call against the Cardinals.
Illegal motion, 62 offense, penalty is declined, fourth down.
That's Brown again.
Again, I remind you, the Cardinals were the most penalized team in their history last year, and they don't appear to have changed their ways.
John Bruno, the rookie, kicks to the 25-yard line, and Gentry gets a nice block, turns it into a good run back as Gentry takes the ball into Cardinal territory.
He can do a lot of things. We saw him a while ago as a receiver with a great first down reception effort. Here he is on a punt return. He'll return kickoff for you. A lot of athletes.
7:53 to play.
I know it's preseason football, but let's look 2 plays in a row. Watch Ron Rivera, the Bear middle linebacker, take it right in the chops from Mike Ruther. And now on Gentry's punt return, watch Lorenzo Lynch. Whoa, look out. John Preston bites the dust, and 2 successive plays, 2 major league hits.
Bears have it. Harbaugh's in the game at quarterback. First and 10, and his first pass is dropped by Anderson. It was there, but Anderson couldn't hold it. Anderson had his man beaten. It was slightly underthrown, but still very catchable.
This play, Harbaugh wanted in there so desperately. He had that play all lined up. He was afraid Flutie was going to run it, and Anderson, who had it right in his hands, drops the football on him. Could have been 6. Harbaugh did everything to catch that for him. Laid it right in there.
Anderson had one-on-one coverage by Anthony Bell and had Bell beat by 3 or 4 steps.
Second down and 10. Harbaugh, the surprising number 1 pick for Chicago in the draft. And Harbaugh takes off and picks up the first down.
What do you do when you get a rookie quarterback? You blitz him, and this time it backfires. Harbaugh could not find a receiver, but he showed good athletic ability getting outside.
Ditka talking about the draft, and it was pretty commonly known at the time the Bears looking at a linebacker, Alex Gordon, out of Cincinnati, bypassed him when they saw Harbaugh still available, and to the surprise of a lot who follow the sport closely, they went to the QB, but it may turn out to be a brilliant move. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Takes it to the 33. You look at the Bears situation, they had all of the quarterbacks. Remember, they had 4, and then they went out and they drafted Harbaugh, but Fuller is on injured reserve. Flutie is still a question mark. McMahon is a physical question mark. And if Tomczak isn't the answer, well, then they made a brilliant choice, assuming that Harbaugh can play.
Well, there's a guy in Ann Arbor, Michigan by the name of Jim Beckler that's sure that it was a brilliant choice. He thinks Jim Harbaugh is something very, very special.
2nd and 7 at the 33-yard line. Cardinals still want to blitz him. He gets it off and completes it. Dropped, though, and no catch. Gentry dropping it. Didn't have possession.
Good read by Harbaugh. The toughest thing for a quarterback to learn right off the bat is what happens when I get pressure. Here comes E.J. Jr. right up the middle on the safety blitz. Let's watch Jim Harbaugh and see how quickly he gets rid of the football. He sees Jr., rolls a couple feet to his right, and delivers a perfect strike to Gentry. And for the 2nd time on this series, a Bear receiver drops the football.
It was a good read by Gentry, too. Both of them right in concert.
You know, that's very close to being a fumble. I think that was a catch and a fumble. And we're getting a little replay action here.
First one of the night. First one we've had tonight.
That's a completion all the way by that last angle we saw. Let's look at it again. Oh, Dennis Gentry, both feet on the ground and holding the football. Charles Wright hits him, and that's a fumble.
After review, the play stands. It was an incomplete pass.
Ooh.
Cal Lepore, former field official, is the replay official upstairs.
Sorry, boys, but I think that's a catch all the way. Will I get a phone call? Don't call us. We'll call you.
Collect. 3rd and 7. Harbaugh gets it away.
That's a grass,
but he was
close
into
to it.
Did they call it? And I think they are going to call in the grass. They are. They're going to put it back at the 48-yard line.
Tom Dooley, the referee, this is his call. He's standing right behind the quarterback.
It was a quick one, but they are being ever so quick with him. Right there.
Steve Alford, the defensive tackle, clearly had Harbaugh under his control, in the grasp and control, before Harbaugh delivered the football. Well,
Wagner to kick. And the Bears will down it at the 17-yard line with 6 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. The replay official, Cal Lepore, contending that he did not see that it was clear possession, and we go back to the indisputable visual evidence, which it was apparently not in the estimation of one Mr. Lepore.
that was very nice, Al.
Exactly right.
Very nice, Al.
Scratch that from the record.
I thought it was a catch. What'd you think?
I thought
I'm not taking a rap by myself.
I thought it was close enough that I agree. I sort of agree with Lepore. It looked like it was a catch, but I'm not sure it was indisputable.
Al. Very disappointed in that answer, Al.
Dan, I'm saving the good stuff for the regular season, babe. What do you think? I'm going out on the limb here in exhibition season? Come on.
Exhibition? This is the preseason.
I beg your pardon. Excuse me.
I wonder what they would have done with it had they reversed it, because they'd blown the whistle after you had picked it up and covered about 5 yards. That would have been interesting.
I don't want to even speculate that might have been part of their
I thought you would continue.
I don't even remember the play.
Thanks for Appalachian. Thanks for the setup.
6:13 remaining in the 4th. That's Robert Awalt in motion. And carrying the football, George Sworn. Take another look now. All right, is this indisputable?
You handle it, Al.
All right.
You almost have to run this at regular speed. Run in slow motion, it's going to look like totally like a reception.
Well, well, I'm not sure. You see, you're never sure that he truly does come down with a ball.
You don't see it. Come down, he didn't go up. He had both feet on the ground when he had the ball.
I vote for Lepore.
Are we down to this?
2nd and 6 at the 23. Sworn takes it out to the 27-yard line. Frank, here it comes in regular speed. Now, you be the judge. I want you to break this time.
It'll be very different. All right, regular speed now. That's what is tough.
All right, what are you voting?
I think he caught it. I think it's a very tough and, again, indisputable visual evidence. It's written in the book.
I mean, I understand the intent of the rule that it has to be indisputable to overturn the official, but still, I thought there was enough proof there to warrant it. But it's not the end of the world. It's a preseason game.
3rd and 2.
Well, don't pout then.
Incomplete. Broderick Sargent, the intended receiver.
But if this is 2 weeks from tonight, it is the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Or close to it.
Gentry is back at the 33-yard line. Greg Cater to kick for the Cardinals. And a fair catch made at the 38-yard line by Gentry. And the Bears will take over there with 4:38. I want to tell you, ABC's Wide World of Sports, Leslie Stewart, who won the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship when he defeated Marvin Johnson in Port of Spain, Trinidad in May, will take on former Olympian Virgil Hill for the WBA Light Heavyweight crown. The Great White Shark Expedition, and of course, the Athlete of the Week Award on Wide World this Saturday. From the 38-yard line, through the middle, goes Calvin Thomas, the big fullback. And I mean big, he's about 250.
A little bigger than Mike would like, as a matter of fact. He's very sensitive about this weight, isn't he? Did you notice that with Ditka?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he likes him a great deal, and it really does bother him that he's let himself go like that. I mean, that's obvious when you talk to Mike Ditka.
Second down and 1. And Harbaugh's looking for a bunt, and it drops again by number 82, Riley Walton. You know, you look at Harbaugh's numbers, and they're not going to look very good, and then all of a sudden you think back, he's had 3 balls dropped.
That one could have been caught. It would have been a good effort by Walton, but it could have been caught. You know, we've seen 2 of them that have been dropped. One of them could have been a touchdown. He came into the night with really great numbers. Take a look at it again. And just concentration, keeping your eyes on it.
He's 0 for 4 with 3 dropped balls and the 1 disputed call. 3rd and 1 on the 47-yard line. Harbaugh looking for Gentry, who's double teamed. And incomplete.
Well, that's his first really poor decision at quarterback.
Yes.
That's a ball he should not have let go.
Gentry had no shot to get behind the defender, and then remember there's help on the inside. And if you're going to throw it, and you read it at the last second, then throw it a long way and make sure nobody else is going to come down with it. That could have been picked off very easily.
Interesting what Gene Stallings has done here. Notice this is Carl Carter, the starting left corner. Lonnie Young, the starting free safety, coming from the inside. Protecting a lead, Gene Stallings has inserted some of his first-team defensive players back in the game.
And on 4th and 1, Harbaugh's going to try to sneak his way to a first down.
Notice this, Anthony Bell, Nico Noga, there's Leonard Smith, 45, E.J. Jr., 54.
He's thin, but not that thin.
Yeah, he's not that thin. I think he'd like to hold on to this lead. Remember at the top of the telecast, I said how important this is to the Cardinals to gain a measure of respect by playing well against the Bears, and now that they're so close to winning it.
This is going to be very close on the measurement.
I guess that's why they're going to measure, huh?
You get that feeling.
Or maybe they'll measure it.
I thought you're talking about a 2 or 3 incher here.
I think it'll probably be pretty close. Probably less than the length of a football. What do you think, Al?
Love that dude's socks. You look good in those yellow socks.
Oh, yeah. I would.
First down at the 49-yard line. Once again, Dan, can we tape this game and show it for profit?
No, we cannot, because this telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or any other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is strictly prohibited.
Marked improvement.
Thank you.
At least he picks up on the cues now, right? Calvin Thomas takes it to the 48 for a gain of 3.
You're going to play this one again. You better have a long night.
You better lose your cable to play this one again.
This baby is an SLP.
A little bunch of that Erkenbach popcorn. Throw it right in there.
I'd heard you guys were a lot of fun.
Who? 2nd and 7 from the 48. Harbaugh. Incomplete again. Intended for McKinnon.
Now that ball had nothing on it. That pass somehow just died. I don't know if it slipped coming out of Jim Harbaugh's hand, but what should have been a straight line pass was a gentle downward dropping arc.
It really is not his thing, though, is it? The strong arm, the real powerful arm. Good feel. He doesn't have a weak arm, but he didn't come in with that reputation. Good read, good intelligence.
Well, the thing of it, he's competing with 3 other guys that don't have strong arms either.
Yes, sir.
3rd and 7 from the 48-yard line. And there's another one through the hands of a receiver, Riley Walton this time. And Harbaugh is an 0 for 7 with an asterisk.
They have dropped him. Go back to what Ditka said, though. I mean, he means it. To give me a quarterback that won't turn it over, won't hurt us. We're going to run the football. We know we can do that. We're the best running team in the game, and they were a year ago. They don't want to turn it over, and we got a defense that's going to get it back over and over and over, and we're going to win.
I think Mike wanted an interference call.
Last time around. 4th and 7 from the 48-yard line. Cardinals lead 20-16, 2:35 to go. And Harbaugh has a man for a first down at the 24. McKinnon and a crunching tackle by Leonard Smith.
That was tough on McKinnon, but I know that Mike Ditka likes to see it because McKinnon is coming back from that knee surgery, knee that was injured in the Super Bowl, missed all of last year, and he takes a great shot here. But that can give you a lot of confidence. You're back in action. You know you can do it. And I'll tell you, with Ron Morris on one side, Willie Gault on the other, and McKinnon, if he gets it back, he is a talented, gifted receiver that finds that little opening. He can move in and around and underneath those speedsters on the outside.
If that's what it takes to get confidence, I'll stay insecure.
2-minute warning, Cards by 4. Stallings and Ditka. It's preseason, but they'll pretty much play these last 2 minutes the way they would in the regular season, at least in terms of strategy. Cardinals on top by a score of 20-16, and Chicago has it at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10.
1st and 10. Chicago, 23.
Difference is the Bears have a lot of second stringers in there, and the Cardinals go in with their opening defensive lineup.
Harbaugh stepping up and stepping out, and a first down to the 10-yard line.
Ditka doesn't have a quarterback problem. They're all great.
Well, they're all good athletes. They can all run with the football, and Jim Harbaugh just pulls it down. Notice how he doesn't head for the sideline, stays in the middle of the field, and easily picks up the Bear first down. Big, strong, good-looking, talented, rich, and a quarterback. Soon to be famous. What does he have in common with a lineman? Nothing.
I wonder if he talks with him. He better.
Updates on baseball here in Chicago, not far from here. White Sox beat KC 5-3. Yankees beat Oakland tonight 4-1. And Baltimore knocked off Seattle 4-3. Cleveland wins over Detroit, and California Toronto is 7-7 in the 11th inning. If Toronto wins, they are in a tie for first. Cubs lead Houston in the ninth. Pirates knock off Atlanta. St. Louis does it again to Cincinnati by a score of 4-0. Cardinals have now won 6 straight, and there are the 3 games underway on the West Coast. First and 10 from just outside the 10, and it's incomplete. A wobbly pass that may have been deflected, intended for McKinnon.
Again, good read by the quarterback, the rookie Harbaugh, and also McKinnon. The safety blitz was on. Young coming all the way.
Here comes Lonnie Young. He's going to come right up the middle. That's why Jim Harbaugh has to get rid of the football. Now, Young gives it away, so that gave Harbaugh a chance to throw the ball early. Again, hit him right on the hand.
See, that's brilliant. He had it in there, didn't he?
He did, and he shortened up his drop, knowing he was going to take the hit from Lonnie Young, and still delivered it right on the hand.
Second down, call it goal because the ball is right on the strike on the 10-yard line. Harbaugh gets bumped and then gets the pass away, incomplete. Lonnie Young was coming through again and actually made contact and had to pull up.
Well, Calvin Thomas stuffed it.
Oh,
that's why. That's what you want your running back to do when he sees the blitz. Protect your quarterback. Sometimes blitzers leave as quickly as they came in, and that time Calvin Thomas put the hurt on Lonnie Young. Let's look at it again. Watch Calvin Thomas. He'll come from the left. Lonnie Young from the right. Boom! That's how to give your quarterback a little breathing room. You happy now I gave you a boom?
Third and goal, Harbaugh. And that pass was dying. There was pressure from the backside, tipped by Albert. Fourth down.
I think this ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. I think Steve Alford got his hand on it at the left of the screen. See Alford, 93. Instinctively, up go the hands, and he just deflected the football enough to change its rotation. Tough to tell from that angle, but I still thought that Gentry had a shot at catching it.
Gentry left. McKinnon goes to the right. It's fourth down and goal from the 10-yard line.
Boy, they're sticking man for man on this, too. And more blitzing.
He's looking for Gentry, and it's incomplete. And more blitzing again as he goes down. Lonnie Young making a habit out of it, getting there and forcing the issue.
Well, where Jim Harbaugh might set the record for the most dropped passes by his receivers, Cardinals might have set the record for the most consecutive safety blitzes. Lonnie Young comes in on the safety blitz again, and this time Harbaugh doesn't get away. He takes a heck of a shot. Lonnie Young, 3 consecutive safety blitzes.
It's traditional. You're a young quarterback, and you're going to see it, particularly from James Stallings, who was former defensive back coach for the Cowboys for so many years. He was calling those, and they came with it time after time, and it paid off for the Cardinals.
And so Stout now keeps it on the ground as the Cardinals, with Wolfley back in the game, takes it out to the 15-yard line, and we'll see if Chicago will stop the clock, and they do. Now they have 1 timeout remaining. They can stop it once more. 1:24 remaining in the fourth.
Cardinals, Frank, one of the teams that originated the safety blitz back in the early 60s. Chuck Drulis, the defensive coordinator, and the man who made it famous, standing about 3 feet to my right on the other side of this wall.
His 8 is still tattooed all over Y. Tittle's front and back.
Hall of Famer Larry Wilson, who's...
We didn't think it was legal the first time we saw it. What's he doing over here? Oh, he ate us alive.
Gene Stallings and the Cardinals, if they hold on, with 1 preseason game to go, will be 2-1. They lost their preseason opener to the Cleveland Browns, 31-16, then beat Seattle. Next week they take on Kansas City. Chicago would be 2-1, having beaten Miami and blowing Pittsburgh away. 2nd and 4 from the 16-yard line, and it's Wolfley again. And now 3rd and 4, the Bears will take their final timeout. Look who's in there, Gary Finsick.
The safety man emeritus.
Serving notice that the Cardinals aren't the only team that can run the safety blitz.
He's a real Renaissance man. Just graduated with his master's degree in business. There's been a lot of talk about he might run for office out here. Former Yale record-setting receiver and the leading tackler, leading interceptor for these Bears, and now in kind of a quandary probably as to what's going on because of the switch by Ditka, at least the long look-see of Dave Durson moving over to free safety, the Pro Bowl strong safety from last year. Todd Bell coming back in to play the strong safety. He, of course, the Pro Bowl strong safety from 1984.
Somehow I sense in talking to people who follow the Bears and Mike Ditka and players that move is all but made, that it'll be Durson and Bell opening at the safeties on opening day, and such is the way it has to be with a good football team. Youth gets blended in. Sometimes guys who can still play and contribute, guys like Gary Finsick, have to take a back seat to someone who's younger.
3rd and 4, and it's Sikahema, and he doesn't get the first down, and that means the Bears will still have an opportunity. They can't stop the clock, but the Cardinals will be forced to kick.
Gary Finsick on that tackle as well.
4th down, 1, as the clock continues to tick down, and what Stallings will do is let it tick all the way down and then punt. And the Bears will have about 30 seconds.
You know, Gene's taking a safety.
Don't tell me he's going to take another one.
It's tough to knock it when he's winning the ball game, but
actually, if he were down in much closer than he is, that would not be a bad move at this point. The delay of game.
He said that if he took a safety at this point, a field goal would win the game, and you don't want to put yourself in a position where 3 will beat you.
No, no, no.
So it's Jeffries who goes back to receive, and John Bruno to do the kicking, and the Bears have 10 men up on the line. And they send 9 of them, and he gets the kick away. And Jeffries has no help, so he calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 48-yard line. Bears have no timeouts and 24 seconds, and they need a touchdown because the field goal doesn't help. And the bad news for the Cardinals is that Tim McDonald, who went off earlier, shaken up, has a fractured left ankle.
Well, their injuries have been tough, haven't they? McDonald and their big defensive end, Galloway, Farrell, their fullback.
Yeah. They hope that Farrell can be back by opening day.
And their #1 draft choice, not even close to signing.
Yeah. But perhaps a small victory here for the franchise as they're on their way maybe to a win over Chicago. 2nd down. And again, Harbaugh has it there. They need some stickum. Of course, isn't this where Flutie normally comes in and throws one of his Hail Marys?
Bring Lomax in. He threw the last one that worked right at the end of the first half.
Right.
Maybe they could borrow him for one play.
2nd down from the 49. And Harbaugh for McKinnon, overthrown this time, and it's 3rd down. 3rd and 10 with 13 seconds remaining in the game.
Think we've learned anything tonight about the quarterback situation, Dan?
Well, I think they learned something that they didn't have to learn, that Mike Tomczak is the man who's going to lead this football team if Jim McMahon isn't going to be there. And it's looking more and more like McMahon isn't going to be there the opening Monday night game. You look at Flutie, you look at Harbaugh, you see guys that aren't quite ready yet. You look at Mike Tomczak, and I see a polished quarterback that appears to have come into his own.
Looked awfully good in the early part of the game, and he's looked good throughout the preseason.
McKinnon, and again it's overthrown, and it's 4th down and 10.
But do you keep 3? What does it do to Flutie?
Well, I think Flutie's going to end up staying on this roster because I think they're going to be forced to put Jim McMahon on injured reserve. This is speculation on my part, but I don't expect great news from Dr. Frank Jobe when he looks at Jim McMahon next week. You just get the impression in talking to Mike Ditka, talking to Jim McMahon, that he's a long way away from being effective.
And also, I don't think that they're going to take a chance with a 70 or 80% Jim McMahon. He's not going to do him any good.
Not against the Giants.
No.
And keep in mind, too, he really hasn't played against that much action in front of him. He'll be a while before he'll be back, even if he can throw the ball.
4th down and the last gasp for Chicago, and it ends that way. And so the St. Louis Cardinals have lost Tim McDonald. And that's the bad news. And the good news is they picked up another preseason victory. And they do it again. It's 11 times in the last 12 years, believe it or not, that the Cardinals have beaten the Bears in preseason. 20-16. Harbaugh winds up 1 for 15 with about 9 drops. So once again, the final score was St. Louis 20 and Chicago 16. Al Michaels along with Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf. Thanks to George Hill and Kelly Hayes up here for their help. And our crew headed by Kenny Wolf and Larry Cam saying good night from Chicago, where this ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Dodge, setting new standards of performance, by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By IBM, and by new longer-lasting Energizer batteries. Boy, it says